guys, welcome to today's video. So today we're going to swatch this entire pencil collection. So it is made up of several different coloured pencil brands, and throughout the week we've been swatching them individually and talking a little bit about the different characteristics of each pencil range. Like the Prismacolor Premiers are very creamy, and the very thin that have the hexagonal body are harder, so they're better for sketching and detail work. And then here we have the difference between the Caran d'Ache Museum Aquarelles and the Supra Soft 2 or Supracolor 2 Soft. So, and a whole variety of different Derwent pencils as well. So you can see that I've broken it up into sort of colour family groups. So that is how we'll be swatching them today, so that you can see some of the differences really clearly. So during the week we kind of did them brand to brand, and you could see a variety of colours within that brand and how they swatched. And now we're just going to swatch by colours, and we'll go through and put them all next to each other, so that if there's a particular tonal difference that you like, you'll be able to see it really easily. So the other thing is, if you press the gear somewhere around your video and change the playback settings to 720, you'll be able to see it in high definition, so you'll be able to see the numbers and the colour names on the pencils a lot clearer. And then we will be swatching them in this. So I haven't really talked about this yet on the channel. I got this a few months ago. This is a Linden Tree Leather B6 Traveler's Notebook. So this is a really beautiful one, and every year I always get a Traveler's Notebook to put my planner in for that year. Well, I'll say every year, but really for the last 2 years, so this would be the third year. And I picked this one because at the time Chic Sparrow wasn't, I really liked the Maverick Leather. They discontinued it, and then they brought it back as a limited edition Scout, which I missed out on. So I went to Linden Tree Leather, and just being so happy. This notebook, the Traveler's Notebook, is so beautiful. So I have a whole video coming out to talk more about that, but inside it I have this Midori Cotton. This is the FO, and it is from Jennibick bookbinding. I will link it down below. So this is more of a sketchbook one. You can see the paper is a little bit off-white, so it's got a slightly creamy quality to it, but it's not very cream. So the regular Midori has a little bit more of a yellow undertone to the paper, where this is more towards white. And it is a very thin paper, so you'll see at the end that I do put a piece of just cardboard underneath the pages when I'm swatching it, so that it doesn't kind of dent all the pages behind it. So, but you can see that the colours are very vibrant on the paper, and so I thought this would be a nice way to swatch it. So here on the left we have sort of the different colours and the sort of corresponding letter that I'll put to them. So first we had the Derwent Colour Soft, there's the Cretacolor, and then the Albrecht Dürer. So some of them have the same letters, but you'll be able to see there's the Graphitint, the Derwent Lightfast. But as we go through, I do detailed there's the Luminance pencils. I do detailed videos and sort of try and keep it still. There's the Supracolor 2 Soft, so that you can see which pencils I'm swatching, so that you'll know which is which. This is the Caran d'Ache Pastel pencils, the Faber-Castell Polychromos, and then the Derwent Pro Color. And I think there might be another one, the Stabilo Carbothello as well. So I'm just going to show you the pencils. I try and do a close-up here so that you can pause the video and blow that up if you want to see which pencils they are and what the colour names or the numbers on the pencils are, and then we will swatch each sort of colour family. And you can see here with the swatches that I am doing them the same way we've been doing them all week, but if you haven't seen those videos, I am putting harder pressure on it first and then trying to get a nice gradient, so releasing pressure and making the end of the swatch lighter. And also I'm using small circular motions, so I'm trying to practice sort of good pencil habits, and this will help in so many different areas of your artwork as well, with creating highlights, creating shadows, even taking this to different disciplines like lettering, calligraphy and painting, you know, varying your paint strokes with your paintbrush as well. So there's a lot of benefits to swatching like this, and you can do this with other mediums that you have as well. If you don't have pencils or you're not a pencil artist, you can use you know, the neo colors or something else that you might have, maybe something in your cupboard that you haven't sort of looked at for a while that you want to get out and try and reimagine how you want to use those things. So at the end of every swatch group, I will try and do a close-up like this, and then put the pencils in the order there that they were swatched, so you can kind of see how those colours correspond to them. And I also did go back in, so I forgot the Derwent Light Fast in Oyster. This is one of my absolute favourite colours. I really love this, and we have one last pencil video after this that I will just kind of show you some of my favourites, and then we'll do some of the blending as well and some of that in the favourite mixes video next week. But that is definitely one of my favourites. I think it really deepens the palette and sort of makes it feel a bit more sophisticated. So we will begin the blues, and you can see there aren't very many. I do need to put in some darker blues and some darker greens and probably some darker neutrals, but for the time being, since I don't really, you know, use pencils as much as watercolors, I use pencils more for detail work and just kind of adding little textural elements or different layers. So I will put a couple of videos where you can see sort of where I've overlapped pencil over watercolor. So I don't do it extensively on the channel. So you can see there's a couple of videos, the Aubusson one, which is the studio one where I put pencil over the watercolor there. In the purple colour family watercolour video, I use it in the grapes at the end, but I'm not sure how much of that I put on camera. I do have a video of some florals over on Heirloom Luxe that I'll try and link as well, that we just did some really nice florals and cut them out and created like a little wreath with those as well. So it's just a really fun and easy way to begin to incorporate pencil on your watercolor. So like I said, I am not a pencil artist. There's some really amazing pencil artists here on YouTube, and one of them is Kirsty Partridge Art. That's kind of where I learned a lot of what I know about pencils. I really love her channel, and she makes it very easy for you to understand kind of how to improve. I also watched a really nice one on Natasha's channel the other week on how she creates layers and textures with her pencils as well, so I will link that as well. So there's a lot of different ways that you can add a pencil into your artwork, and it's a really beautiful medium to combine, I think, with other mediums like watercolor. So especially no matter your style as well, like whether you're more abstract or whether for example, I was watching Wendy Hollander the other day, and she uses watercolor, and then she uses watercolor pencils and pencils over the top of it to kind of add some of those details. And I really like the look of it. I'm not sure, I think it might have been on her Instagram. She showed a pair side by side, one that was just done it with watercolor and one that was done with watercolor and pencil. And I think the pencil brings a really beautiful fine grain over the top of the watercolor. I started using the pencil because I liked to be able to add some detail quicker than if I was sort of dry brushing watercolor and taking a lot of time. So if I didn't have time, I could use the pencil quite easily and add in some really nice detail and some layering without it becoming too tedious. But having said that, when you see, pencil artists doing the fine art, I mean, they're taking hours, and it's a very long process. And you hear a lot of them say like they need to take breaks when they're doing a lot of fur or they're doing the hair. But it's so rewarding. It's so beautiful when you see their finished works. So also, if you have any favorite pencil channels or a video or any information that you'd like to share, your favorite pencils and why, I've heard a few good recommendations for pencil sharpeners this week, and also different brands of pencils or different lines. So like the Derwent drawing ones, I don't have any of those here. Generally, I like to just buy a couple from a range and try it, and I really would like to try the light sienna and the Solway blue from the Derwent drawing pencils, and I think the Mars Violet, but they're usually out of stock, so once I get around to it, I will be adding those. But yeah, if you have any recommendations for us, pop them down below. I really love hearing from all of you, and I love that we have the comments there that we can kind of have a conversation and learn from each other as well. I feel like at the end of this week I'm a little bit talked out, a little bit swatched out, and I don't want to sort of keep repeating the same things, so I do apologise if I've kind of said things, but I feel like this video might be more of sort of a reference video. So again, like if you want to leave anything, and even if you've left it in one of the other videos, this one might be more of an all-round video where people will come to look for reference information, so feel free to leave any of that again. And I love hearing your guys' experiences with the pencils and what are your favorites. So it seems that everyone has a different favorite, and that's one of the reasons that I like just getting a couple from a collection, to try them out and to see if they'll fit, you know, how they feel, and also I think every range offers slightly different colors, so I do gravitate towards the particular tone and the color that I'm looking for, not necessarily just the brand, if that makes sense. Okay, so we have finally finished. I did speed some of those up because I just felt like the video is just becoming super long. So tomorrow I just wanted to finish it off and kind of round it out with a video showing some of my favourite pencils. And I also want to add a little bit of footage of just how I would use pencil over watercolour. So I have a little thing that I've been working on. So I'm just doing a little flip here so you can see all the pages. But I've got a little painting that I'm working on in my kind of plein air chic sparrow, which I've shown on the channel, and I've just taken out one of those papers and I'm painting like a view of New York there. So we will use some pencil and go over that a little bit tomorrow as well. And so I will leave you with a view of some deers that we had out the backyard this morning overlooking New York, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night. Bye.